Hello, and welcome to tonight's program, Human Hero, Immortal God, 4 steps of mystical, spiritual enlightenment, awakening, revelation, call it what you want. We're going to get into it, but we are going to do our usual format, though earlier. You might have noticed I moved from 11 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so glad to have you aboard. I am your host, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but your dad, he just called me, and he called me Mal. Hi, I hope you are all having a lovely, lovely evening. This is a jacket from the 1970s. I am giving you bearded, all right, just both barrels tonight. I even have a pin from the Museum of either Natural History. I think it's Museum of Natural History. When we went when I was a kid, this was my mom's. And it's so funny because on her, it would have been like, she would have really, it would have, smaller woman, obviously. I mean, it's just like totally like, yeah, it needs a little taking in, but then it wouldn't really be the style of the time. Isn't it fabulous? Actually, this is older than you, sweetheart. This is older than you. I don't know that it's older than me. I was in 68, but it might be. It might absolutely be. So it was kind of fun. When we moved out of the Bayshore house, we went through stuff. She's like, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "Yes, mine. Mine, down, mine. We had a little Daffy moment there. Older is better. Well, it depends. If they lie about their age, not so much. That's like strike 1 and 2. We're just waiting for the 3rd one at that point. Don't lie about your age. Lying about your age is still lying. I'm going to be 52 in a couple of weeks. So we're going to do our usual. We're going to schmooze until 10:10 p.m. We'll make our wish because 10:10 wins. And I don't think that's national. I think that might be a New York thing. I don't know if that's national. I don't know AM radio. So that's going to be, instead of 11:11 make a wish, it's going to be 10:10 make a wish because 10:10 wins. It's very, 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 very tri-state area, East Coast. I'm 80. Your star 80. Look that one up. Oh, I have a feeling we're in for a ball tonight. We'll make our wish. We'll go into an opening prayer, but we're keeping it light tonight. The moon is in Gemini. I mean, this can be a very intense subject, but you'll hear in the prayer. I've already asked my gods to work through me tonight for this, so we just kind of flow with it and go with it and see where they want to, because it's really all about the gods and it's really all about our spiritual evolution. And just another way of looking at it, I don't think it's necessarily revolutionary, but this is how my gods communicate with me as a visionary and as a mystic, to see my own path in context. And we can get into that. I mean, remember, I could have gone into comparative religion, right? Like I could have been a comparative religion scholar, but then look where we'd be right now with everything going on planet Earth. It'd still be out of work. So yes, smart career choice, be a YouTuber, work from home, clairvoyant empathy, and mystical avatarization for fun and profit, rock and roll. Nice work if you can get it. Yeah, we're going to have a guest tonight. And we're going to have a guest tomorrow, because tomorrow, Meow Meow Dollface and Mal Flanders will be coming over to have a socially distanced. My living room's big enough. we can have a meeting. Well, those two don't have to be apart from each other. They live together. So they can be on one end of the couch, me on the other, with a coffee table in the middle with coffee. And we are going to have a sit-down collab meeting and plan some stuff for YouTube. Hey, Malenka, sweetheart, how are you? How are you? I'm not holding tonight to a time limit. I usually try and do them for about an hour, but we'll see, because it's just a very, very, it's not something I talk about all the time, right? It's not. Is it something I talk about in my readings maybe once in a very, very blue moon? You saw me standing alone. I have a feeling we'll be doing this a lot, and it's a good thing that's water. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good night tonight too. You know, Mal and Meow Meow are sort of becoming guest hosts. Like, you're guest hosts. We're going to be collaborating. It's like, I'm guest hosting today. Mal's daughter, Meow Meow Dollface. Say hi. Meow Meow. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Yeah, so, well, it is just 10 o'clock now. So now is when we say that we go live. So now officially everybody who wants to be here at 10 o'clock should be filling in the room. And now I'm going to leave these as is. And we will see how far we go. Because we have to kind of start the conversation with what mysticism actually is, right? Keep it fun, keep it light. Absolutely. They see what I mean? It's like, let's talk about mysticism, which there's a way of looking at it that really, from an artist's point of view, particularly an actor's point of view, you can kind of see why you don't want to know why certain things happen. And I think we all have a healthy sense of mystery in life, but the divine mysteries are tricky, is the thing, as mysteries are, because they involve life, right? They involve our purpose for being here. And a lot of it we don't remember. A lot of it, the majority of it, we don't remember why we're here. The process of awakening is one of remembering. So that's why I want to say the prayer, the opening prayer after we make the wish and let them take over. And it's not channeling. I'm not going to like channel for y'all tonight. Well, aspecting may happen. I do kind of sort of have a say as to whether and who, I should say, which God aspects through me, but it's a perfect love, perfect trust relationship. I know they would never like, I don't know, like Artemis, like take me over while I'm like driving or something, like, you know, she's like, I want to drive. It's not a supernatural comedy. You know, it's not like that. It's not all, oh, remember All of Me? Oh, Lily Tomlin and Steve Martin is still Beck and Bull. Yeah, not so much that. Okay. You know, just three of us in the room. So then let's quickly talk about dark moon, right? So the 15th, 16th, and 17th. In other words, we're saying Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is dark moon because new moon is on Tuesday, the 18th at 10:42 p.m. Mal, Meow Meow, what I was going to bring up in the meeting tomorrow, but I didn't realize it until I checked the calendar tonight. New moon is at 10:42 p.m. It would be this time slot, right? So we could actually start at 10 p.m. if you wanted to do it. But then at that point, I would probably be sleeping on the sleigh bed, day bed. Again, so something to consider and walk in the door with tomorrow. So just something to think about. Yeah, and that could be an absolute hoot, an absolute. Yeah. Hi, Grace. Hi, sweetheart. Welcome. Yeah. Hey, kitty girl. It's your world. Oh, dear. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to put this aside. This is fine for now, and of course, until a kitty wants to jump up on it. This didn't come out of nowhere, by the way, tonight's topic. I have written in the description box that I started getting these downloads before we had downloads. I was getting downloads before we had that word. I just realized, we'll call it that for now. That's okay. Visions, I don't know. Really, downloads, I think, is better. Clairvoyant episodes, clarity understandings. About spirituality. It's part of a spiritual awakening process that I went through a really long time ago in this life, and continues to this day, right? The process of spiritual awakening is long and gradual, like alchemy. It takes time. So in the subjects tonight, that's why I kind of want to keep because it's such a squirrely topic that it could go off in 10 million different directions. So I'm going to do my best to kind of navigate it in a fun, light way. Like, here's what they were saying to me before. It's that they said, like, don't take this too seriously. It is a Facebook chat, right? Sorry, Facebook chat, a YouTube chat. It's because I chat in both platforms. So that we can really kind of let the mind expand. And also because the moon is in Gemini and we've got Hermes literally staring at the back of my head. Like, do you see, like, he's staring at me, isn't he? He's staring at me. I love you. He's so hot. Like, they're all hot. They're gods. As I said to Mal earlier today, I was like, of course the gods are hot. If you could appear as anything, why wouldn't you? You know, just like, now I'm just gonna have a dad bod, which is kind of hot, depending on the the dad god bod. Oh, is that what I have? That's what I have. Is like, I have a dad god bod. I was like a sky father bod. That's funny. I'll just crack myself up. You talk amongst yourselves. But that's what it's like, communing with the divine, and the gods are archetypal gestalts, lenses, if you will, in order to handle the mystery of it all, of the divine. Cool. So Q&A will be fine. It's just I want to kind of keep it somewhat on track. As well as keeping it light. Yeah, right? A dad god bod. Yep. Well, like Zeus. I mean, Zeus weren't never hot. I mean, really, they can look like anything. They're higher dimensional beings. And ultimately, what if they're us on a higher dimension, right? Like, they are playing our lives, like, through us, right? Silent witness and all of that. But the ones, oh, look, I'm Atari. Oh, muscle memory. Oh, that was a moment. That was definitely a moment right there. And keep in mind, the moon is in Gemini. It's like I said, it's Hermes. He's got control, but the sun is in Leo. So Apollo. I look like Apollo. Oh, Maul Flanders. Take me, Maul. Clavicle. How much for the witch's clavicle? I'll give 40 rupees for the witch's clavicle. We'll strip it from him. Boil it down, make flying ointment. Lovely. Yeah, you got. They are my hostesses, Mal and Meow Meow. Hi, Mom. You watching? Anyway, we've got 3 minutes until we have our 10-10 wins wish instead of the 11-11. We make a wish at 10-10 because 10-10 wins, and that is Dee Hansel. That was her brainchild. I give credit where credit is due. You betcha. That you saw me on the Facebook stream today in the Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, private Facebook group. You saw I lost it on camera. I laughed so hard. I thought that was great. That made me laugh when I watched it later. It was a good moment. Today was a good day. I got a lot done. I house partied with my mom because that's a thing now. It was good to see her. So now we just don't talk on the phone pretty much every day. We do that. So it's very, very cool. And so all the cats come by and the dogs. So it's got my stepfather, Zeus. Yep, 10-10 wins. Now, please, if you are elsewhere on planet Earth, does the radio... take me, Nancy. Nancy, you sort of came up in one of the readings I did today, but don't ask me which one it was. I don't know. I don't even remember the context, but you did. Thank you, Nancy. 10-10. I don't mind. See, that's the best thing about being a gay male and a Dionysian archetype, which we could talk about tonight, is the love of women. I absolutely have the love of women, but it's a Me Too free zone. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a good thing. I mean, it just is. Damn it, now I have to watch all of them. Good. Well, like, comment. Drive my numbers up, people. Look, I'm worth it. It's not like, because I get emails saying, well, if you pay us this much, we'll get you these many subscribers. And, anyone, a business manager, say, do it, right? And there's just something inside of me. It's like, I can't fake this. Like, I like, even coming up with content for the sake of content, I was saying to Meow Meow earlier, it's like, I can't fake it. That's my pitfall in all of this. That's my blind spot. I can't fake it. Like, I can't force myself to do readings. I've just been doing it for too long. And that doesn't make me better. I think that just makes me old. I think that just makes me a grandpa is what that makes me, with purple hair. In a semi-decent fashion sense, but not really fashion. I was never really about fashion. I'm on style. Style is a different thing than fashion entirely. And I'm not a bear, I'm a lion. Hey. So, 1010, make a wish. 1010, make a wish. So motivate. And so it is, yeah, for the well-being of all, if that's possible on that one, but we'll see. All right. Everybody get yourself like a fine wine, like sands through my hourglass. Let's take a moment. Let's do just a little opening prayer. I've been in prayer all day long. I did readings all day long, so take a moment. We're not going too deep. We're going to really have a conversation and kind of walk our way into this energy. So, hey, whatever got you here, just exhale it for a little bit. You can inhale later, so you can be waiting to inhale. Sorry. But a real key, I find, after all of these years, dealing not just with spirituality, but mysticism, which involves the divine. The spiritual doesn't always necessarily directly involve the divine. To not take things too seriously. Because the core of who we are knows it all. And knows that it all works out. And to enjoy the ride. So as you turn your senses inward, tune into your own body, your vehicle, your soul's automobile, right? Your soul, the truth of who you are, was chosen to come in to this physical vehicle in this time, in this timeline of this lifetime, to experience, to grow, and to evolve, not just within the soul's own journey this time around, but in the evolution of consciousness within this individual personality, ego structure, and all of that, as well as an entire planet. And that's the difference about this particular time we're in. So, of course, being too serious about it engages a lot of fear. So rather, to just breathe, to lighten up, to let it drop. We're in waning moon, about to go into dark moon. And dark moon, no joke, dark moon in Cancer over the weekend. So to right now, we are in waning moon Gemini, to see this differently. To be mutable of air, changeable of mind, just to have some breathing space and to look at some of our ideas from a different point of view as to who we are and why we're here. And it's from this willingness I offer this prayer. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, use me. Give this time spent together to you. May it serve your purposes, and I may bring through the clarity, guidance, and grace about being a human, being a hero, being an immortal, and being a god in physical form in terms of the evolution of human consciousness that is not in conflict or ultimate contradiction with any other path of enlightenment. It's just another way of looking at it. But one that has woven into it the hero's journey, which touches us to our core, or we wouldn't watch all the movies that we watch and read all the books we read. And we are heroes on a journey of immortality and divinity all the way home. So may this time that we give to you be used to bless every mind and lift every heart, and help us each to remember to the fullness of our capacity, at least what we're ready for, who we are and where we are, not as a place of judgment, but like a GPS on an eventual, inevitable journey home. For the well-being of all, I ask this, use me. Every word that flies out of my mouth, yes, I'm handing over not just the controls, but let's consider it crown chakra, third eye, and throat chakra open mic night to my gods and my goddesses sacred. That I am now. Thank you so very much. So mote it be. And so it is. Meow. Mysticism for fun and profit. Yay. Oh, ground yourselves. Ground yourselves and fasten your seatbelt. This is one of my favorite topics. It's not something I talk about that much, though. But, I mean, in context to some of the other stuff that's out there, it doesn't seem all that terribly odd because I can approach it from so many different directions. The Jungian, the archetypal, the hero's journey in and of itself. But this is stuff that was revealed to me over a period of decades. So if you'll bear with me tonight, I'm going to keep my eyes. You said Dark Moon and Cancer, and my body jolted. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you own an astrological calendar. I use the witch's calendar, Llewellyn. But if you'll let me stick with me, we can stay on target tonight and share some of what I've learned. Now, I will say this part of it kicked in over a Ouija board and some chemicals back in the 80s. The planchette is an interesting thing. And apparently I didn't know this until afterwards, but there was a woman who had a very similar experience, different dimension of consciousness using the Ouija board that actually transformed her life, and her name would be Jane Roberts. And with her husband, is it Robert Butts? I know the last name is Butts. I'm sorry, you know how I am with names. Please, no shame, no shade to anybody. That's just my memory. Through that one night. Wait till I write the book. Because I will change names to protect both the guilty and the innocent, but I'm not fictionalizing it, at least not the autobiography. But essentially, Dionysus, the Greek god of wine, started speaking through me. Now, we could talk about what that is some other time, but let's just say that was the only way that this information could come to me, through a lens that I could even somewhat understand, because Greek myth had played, and still does play, such a huge role in my life, going all the way back to being a little boy, watching Linda Carter as Wonder Woman, hearing the name Diana, looking it up in the Encyclopedia Britannica because I am a born Virgo, and seeing the name Diana. I remember this plain as day, and seeing it as the goddess of the moon. And that night I started praying to the moon. There you have it. That's true. I used to get Mark, get back into bed. What are you doing at full moon? Yeah, born witch, born on a full moon, right? So Moonstruck, yeah. Snap out of it. I love you witches so much. I do. That was great. So you're feeling it, right? It's an archetypal symbolic structure that's actually more real than this world, but that's another conversation altogether. It's a higher dimension of consciousness. It's very possible. Anyway, let me keep going. So over the years, one of the things that was revealed to me was that there were certain stages of evolution that are sort of the inverse of the process of involution. Involution, the process of falling asleep and forgetting. Evolution, the process of awakening and remembering. Remembering being the opposite of the word dismembering, right? You dismember and you remember. So you sort of repress parts of you coming into form, going from the one, the silent void of all that is, right? All paradox imploded as one, is that, right? To, hey girl, hey, right? The stages. They're definitely process of involution, and now the process of evolution of consciousness. What are you conscious of? What are you aware of? And certainly you can look at human history in general, but particularly where we are now, and see a steady, sometimes steady over hundreds of years, the same thing, steady evolution of consciousness on planet Earth, particularly spiritually speaking. So you can find that in the Vedic. You can find that really anywhere that there's something mystical. And that's why mystical and spiritual, at least in terms of, let's say I want to say just the scriptural, but if you look to the old world, you're going to find it not necessarily in spiritual religious texts, but more of the hidden stuff, the deeper myths and mysteries, right? That it's an area that a lot of people over time just gravitated away from, and it was really more for the people who are truly called for it. Those that ended up in monasteries and ashrams and caves and in the forests doing their deal with the divine. You with me? Any out there? Hey, remember me from the forest next door, right? Y'all with me here? Just kind of read here. Just this week, watched interview of Roberts for the first time. Oh, life-changing information from Jane Roberts. Oh, that's an odd coincidence that I would bring. There is no coincidence. There's just synchronicities. There's just the one expressing itself. Whatevs. Don't take it too seriously, because that's a trap too. Well, who else to tell you that but me, right? The worlds. I remember everyone here in that forest. Where's Mari? I know, really, seriously. Synchronicity. But you see, now here's the thing about synchronicity from the God's point of view. Synchronicity is just you're seeing the divine plan. It's always like that. But like we're looking this way when it's going this way, right? It's just how it is. And it's all perfect. So, okay, let's get into it. So the 4 stages, right? Buckle down, everybody. Here we go. The 4 stages. And I'm going to give this to you as it is, and then I'm going to compare it to something that's very easy and most of you know anyway, right? So it is human. The human is the first stage. The second stage is hero. The third is immortal, and the 4th is God. Now, I don't want you to think of God as divine masculine. I want you to think it more like almost like a race of beings that encompass all races. You with me, right? Like what species is Zeus and Athena and Apollo and Vishnu and Shiva and Kali and on, right? Thor, like what are they? God, right? It's a whole it's the penthouse, right? Right. So and all of this, think of now, like I gave you those 4. Now think of egg, caterpillar larva, pupa chrysalis, butterfly moth, right? Different stages of. And that progression can also be seen in the 7 levels of consciousness, if I can remember them, starting at the root chakra. We've got sleeping, dreaming, waking, ascendant, ascendants in the heart, dreaming, sleeping, waking, ascendant consciousness, perpetual. Damn, I always forget the third eye one. But I know the unity is the top one. This one, exalted unity, right? So there are all these levels of awakening. So it's just another way of looking at it. But here's how they showed it to me the first time, or pretty much. Lifetime after lifetime, like think of the soul's journey, right? A soul, first time ever coming to planet Earth. What? They're going to come in as an enlightened being the first time? It's like, yeah, start with the beginning, right? Like you start a new video world, because now we have them now. What RPG are you in, right? So, you start off on like level 1. Think about it. Like, maybe this is where all these video game inspirations come from. They're just a mirror of what we're actually doing here, whatever. So human, there's this great song, I think it's by the Godfathers, birth, school, work, death, right? But it is a great song, and the guys are really cute, and it's from the 80s, and you should just, the videos on YouTube, because I've watched it hundreds of times. And I remember hearing that song in the 80s, and that's when that started to kick in, and they're like, that's the human experience. The same thing over and over and over in a near infinite variety, right? So you're not milkmaid every single time, right? Right? I mean, it's the holographic thing. Sorry, I'm replying to Autumn Gypsy RPG, right? Right on point. But we're chosen to play the roles. In other words, we don't really get to choose who we are. We say, I want to play. What you got? And they're like, well, let's look at let's look at your resume. Really, it's like auditioning in a way. And they say, well, we've got this role for you. I do think we have like final say whether or not we want to do it. And there's near infinite quantum choices that we can leave at any time. It's called offing yourself. So the first bunch of lives we come in, birth, school, work, death, over and over and over and over and over and over. The treadmill, right? And so many, and it takes a lot of people on that treadmill to keep this world going as a human race. It just does. It just does. Until, right, one day, the human goes, there's got to be something better than this. There's got to be something better to do. I saw Debbie Allen perform that on Broadway a long time ago. It's from Sweet Charity, right? There's got to be more, right? And we look up, and the quest begins, the hero's quest, the hero's journey. There's a calling. We're ready, but the hero's journey. Hashtag Joseph Campbell. Look it up, right? There's a whole cycle, and it's, yes, mirrored in our myths, because our myths are mirrors of our own journey, right? The hero's journey is a big part. I mean, it's Star Wars. It's everything, right? And way too much. And and there are scholars that could educate you on that for the rest of your life. Don't get it too trapped up here, because you're soaking in it, right? This is your hero's journey, the evolution of the soul. So how many people are awakening from human to hero? And what does a hero do? They quest. So take a moment. What are you questing for in your life? When you know, type it. You don't have to be graphic. You don't have to be specific. Go. What are you questing for? I know what I'm questing for. Truth and true love. Some tantric fireworks every now and again, once a month at least. Tarot theater. Wow. Well, that's just life. Imagine the manicurist. Yeah, you're soaking in it. I figured someone would catch that one up. One of these lifetimes, I want to be a milkmaid. I want to be a fifth dimensional milkmaid. Poof. Okay, that made my day. I'm pretty sure that made my day. Fifth Dimensional Milkmaid, a new series from Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. Oh, that was funny. Inner peace. Well, thankfully, the quest for inner peace has been going on a really long time. So there are some decent footsteps to follow on that one. So blessed be peace. Peace starts within. Now, you all know this stuff, and that's the thing. You don't need to tell you. Your soul already knows. The game is already programmed. Sure, near infinite variety of probabilities, but you're going to get to where you're supposed to go. And the game keeps changing according to what the need of your soul is on the hero's journey. Space travel and truth. Well, rock on, to each their own. I just want my guy. I mean, after all of this, right? It's like going around the world to go around the corner. I just want to do what I love for a living and have my guy with me. You know, the divinely designed whoever, whatever, and then travel the world doing what I love. I mean, like, I made it this far. I've got purple hair. I have decent skin. Thank you, Lancome. Laughter, love, yeah, and all of these things. Now, here, time out for a second. True love is a milkmaid. I love you so much. Oh my God, we are all going to have to meet. I'm telling you, when this is all, you know what I mean, a hotel near an airport. Because it doesn't matter. We're not going to sleep anywhere. It won't matter if the planes are landing or flying, because we're going to go there. We're going to read each other's cards. It's going to be like a psychic fair, but just us, right? And a bar with a pool. Oh, and a sauna and a massage team would be nice too. Well, I'm sure we can import some massage people too. So there you go. So that's the second level, hero, right? And we could talk about any of these. We've been talking about the human experience long enough, and we are having more of a discussion about the hero's journey, right? As we said, I'm on a journey. I'm on a healing journey. Path of true love is just another lens through which to look at the same thing. But that's another story for another time. See, but then you get into the immortal, and this party at my house. Not here. We're going to take y'all. Now let's talk immortal, Because here's the thing, if you take this stuff too seriously, you start to judge where you are, right? Like, where am I? Where am I? Mystery, 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 mystery. The more you think about it, the harder it is to tell. You're going to find that out for yourself by taking it seriously. I know. It's how it rolls. Usually how it rolls. Immortals is when you really start remembering you don't die. That death isn't the end. Now, I think a lot of us have actually been there in the early stages, like anything else. Like, oh, I'm no longer a child. I'm in my adolescence. Oh, yeah, like that's just one period. There are stages within adolescence. Of course there are. Right? Like anything else. It's just a journey, right? Of wisdom and love, wisdom and power. But as a result of that, you really start feeling more the eternal and soulmates and twin flames and soul contracts. And why am I here? Not just the quest of the hero, but if you like, the superhero. And I think that's why we're so called to superhero culture, because they're sort of immortal. Right? They've all undergone the hero's journey, but there's something meta about them, like human, but meta-human. It's in our language already. Well, at least if you're DC Comics. I suppose if you're Marvel, you're just a mutant, but I don't mind that either. Some of the mutants are cute. Did you know Iceman's gay? I had no idea. Explains the cold shoulder. Still me. And that's a great thing. You don't got to sacrifice the truth of who you are, your sense of humor as you go. But the immortal stage is a very, very fascinating one, particularly reconnecting with other immortal beings, meaning that, look, immortality does not mean that you're going to stay in the same body. That's a trap. That's Nosferatu. I'm not interested. Can you imagine 100 years from now, still in the same body? I mean, unless I look like this or better. I don't know. There's a reason why I don't drive my 2004 Saturn Vue anymore. And blessed be Veronica. She was a great car. We traveled the world together. Wow, within the continental United States. She don't swim well. But, you know, now I've got Dorian because he's gray, you know. And neither one of us age. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. There's a lot of content here. I'm in Mexico City right now. Name the airport as long as the drinks are cheap. Hello. And I am fun tequila drunk, but I am really more fun champagne drunk. It's weird. Like, the harder the alcohol is, I'm still fun, but just wine or something. Oh, Prosecco, ice cold Prosecco. Girl, I am fun. Mini pool, stick your feet in. Okay. Just caught up with everybody where we are. So now here's the gig with the immortal stuff. Yes, so you're remembering more and more, but your experiences, because of the hero's journey, have probably broken you away. Oh, so right, think like the egg, right? The little butterfly egg, right? The human being cracks out of its shell, larva, starts eating, right? It like has to eat. It like metaphysics, it's very divine masculine, at least it was for me. It's like more data, more experience, right? And then what does it do? It spins a cocoon. It goes into the pupa. Now, some people will attribute that to the dark night of the soul, and I'll say that dark night of the soul can also get you from human to hero, right? And then hero to immortal. It's the gods like write that into the script because it covers a lot of ground quickly, so to speak. Anyway, so we find ourselves on the hero's journey, really breaking away from a lot of tribal dictate, right? Here's another way to look at it. The lower two chakras are human, just the human level, right? The third and fourth are hero, right? The immortal, the throat, the third eye, and the god, the crown and the eighth chakra. But the thing is, it's not like a rocket where you take off and then you drop those, right? Like the stages of a rocket in space, like you let go of stage number 1, stage number 2, you integrate them. They all become, that's why I love the imagery of the chakras of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, white, Roy G. Biv, whoa. Right? As it's all manifestation of the one great white light, right? So there are, it's a weird word to use, but there are skills of the spirit that are revealed, but they're part of natural evolution. They're not something that you can force. You can't speed up or slow down this process. Believe me, I've tried. Believe me, I've tried. And it's a lesson that we all go through anyway, so I can tell you, don't bother, but you're going to try and do it anyway. Because it absolutely means at the same time that as you evolve, a lot of your sacred cows get slaughtered. A lot of your illusions get busted because you can't take them with you. Not for no other reason than because you're evolving in consciousness. When I was a child, I played with the things of childhood. Now that I am an adult, I shall put away childish things, right? It's just how it goes. And some of those things are beliefs that we so identify that were never true, like anything essentially evolving fear, because we're all one. We're all that one divine force. Unity consciousness is where we're headed. That's the crown chakra in the chakra system of consciousness, unity consciousness. But then there's the 8th chakra too, and that's the higher self, right? The upper room. I call that Olympus up in there, right? That's where I go. The archetypal world, the archangels and all that celestial jazz, right? So let me see. Does anybody have any questions so far? Right, I have to remember there's a delay on this because we're doing good on time. Because all I can give you is like teeny tiny thumbnail sketches of these stages, because each one of them, like literally, we could spend days talking about. But I'm going to talk about the 4th one, the God one, in a bit, and then other stuff. Let's see if anybody has any questions about this so far. Yeah, like the archetypal part. Archetypes to me are like lenses through which soul power takes on color, shape, and form. That was good. Write that one down. It's all the one infinite light, but everything passes through an archetypal pattern, so the one can appear as many, right? So even the chakras, that's an archetypal system based in symbolism, but more real than this world in some ways, right? So, you know, the psychological gestalts alone, like just the survival family of archetypes, right? The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute archetype. Carolyn Mace, sacred contracts. Don't point your fingers at me just because I said saboteur and prostitute. Everybody got those 4, right? But how they manifest in us individually is infinitely different from each other, right? As much as like a fingerprint, right? Yeah, forever young, baby. I'm there. I'm right there with you. But I guess if nobody has any questions, then I will move this along to the 4th stage. Just do another sip of water. In case somebody got a question. I'm not doing the whole thing. I don't have to. It's my channel. So let's talk about the 4th. So remember, everyone starts off human, right? It's like it really is like the beginning levels of a role-playing game with near infinite levels. Because by the way, God ain't the end. Just saying. I know it sounds weird, but bear with me. Human becomes, there's got to be more than this, becomes the hero, starts questing, right? And by the way, heroes become villains for times too. That's part of it too, right? You know, a villain, because they all come from pain, and who ain't got pain, right? Has an awakening and works to become on the hero's journey a hero. Rather, we all go through that too, lifetime after lifetime, different ones. I feel like I understood it before reading. I don't want to overanalyze it in my reading. Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's okay. I'll understand it at some point, because it's these other aspects of us. The process of evolution is just us moving through a linear stream of consciousness through the truth of who we are at different stages, because the egg is just as valuable as the butterfly, right? But the immortal, right? So the human is the egg, the hero is the larva, the caterpillar eating everything in sight. In order to, and it needs that, right? In order for it to go into what? The immortal stage, the pupa stage, the cocoon, the internal work, right? The feeling cut off from who you used to be, because you're not really a butterfly and you're not really a caterpillar. So WTF am I? Like, what am I? Who am I? There's a song coming on, right? The existential. It's not just the quest. It's now oftentimes a loss of identity, and that can certainly come through Dark Night of the Soul, right? Divorce, death, distance, destruction, devastation. It's just well, I mean, the 12 labors of Hercules, right? It's a long story. It's a very, very long story. I know those stables. What a mess. Talk about mucking about. But then we reach the gates. We remember, and this is the part that's foggy for me, because really we're going from crown chakra. Remember, crown chakra really has no language. It's here. It's here. This is where we code things, right? It's instant. The unconscious mind and the conscious mind interact with the subconscious and take ideas and place them into words for us. That's how we can communicate, right? The crown chakra, not so much. It's like the radar dish. And then the 8th chakra, the upper room, is a level of consciousness that maybe we visit in sleep, but we are really grounding into the physical body when we are in states of what? Love, bliss, ecstasy, compassion, right? Really living the higher self through that. But therein lies the mystery of what happens to the immortal. So what does a god do? Well, this is the mystery part. I don't ultimately know, but I have clues, right? Because we have mythology as well as I have direct experience. I've interacted with all of my gods pretty much in one way, shape, or form at this point. It's been a long journey, and you don't have to do all of that stuff. That's just my calling, perhaps. They're as real as you and I are, in some way realer. In a big way realer, but whatever. What do gods do in human form? Well, they heal, because the healing is part of the journey. So there are gods that still heal, not just others themselves, right? And they learn and they grow and they experience. You would, I guess, associate it with being fully awake within the dream, right? They know it's not real. It's not real as a permanent thing. You're one with everything. That it's actually all happening inside of you. This whole external reality is actually happening inside the totality of who you are, and that you're totally safe. And no matter what happens, you're not just immortal, you're divine. And you'd think that'd make you want to torch the house, but it doesn't. It's not that you create reality, it's that you created reality. And everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. And I don't know, you make a lot of money. I don't know. I guess that's to each what everybody else does once they hit. I mean, what have those beings that have done it before? Because that's the thing. There have been others who've done it. What do you think the ascended masters are? I mean, the gods evolve too. Like, what, you think Athena doesn't know about broadband? Come on. Come on. What do you think, Zeus is still walking around in a toga? I mean, maybe they're very comfortable in this time of year. I can understand. But, when you're in that kind of control of the higher dimensional realms, like when you're dreaming, how easily it is to shift from thing to thing in higher states of consciousness, right? So it's a lot to think about, I know. We're not really here. I mean, this is a training. But see, here's the thing. This world that we're in is like a gym and a school and a game. It's where the soul can accelerate its growth process by completely forgetting who it is and what we are. And in the process of awakening, and that's through alchemy, which looks good on paper, but then you realize it's heat, pressure, and time. So there's a lot of suffering and a lot of joy and a lot of water, earth, air, fire, and spirit, and death and rebirth, and relationships, and fear, and love, and healing, and forgiveness, and betrayal, and the 7 deadly sins, and the holy graces, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why we say, I'm never coming back here. And as soon as we get out, we go, oh, when can I go back? And that's the most annoying thing about it, is we have to forget who we are to play the game so that we can become who we are in the game. It's like lucid dreaming. That's an odd way of looking at it, but yeah, kind of. There we go. Spiritual awakening is the lucid dreaming of this world. Quick, someone put that on a t-shirt. Someone silk screen that. Anyway, my dream YouTube vid is you and Laura Eisenhower just hanging reading some charts. Okay, I don't know Laura Eisenhower, but that's cool. Well, more and more of us are getting into the Unity thing because it's sort of the only game in town, and really the only one that ever was, being Unity, right? I mean, and again, my way through is not everybody's way through. You have your own way through. You don't have to, am I on my path? And that's the thing. Did any of you, I don't know if I could find it on my phone. Maybe I could. But Matt Kahn posted this thing. I think I posted it. I shared it yesterday or the day before about alignment, right? And about whether we're in alignment with our journey or in alignment with our higher selves. It's like we're in alignment the whole time. It's just that it was just written into these lives that we wouldn't necessarily fit in, and we would be different from the people around us. I mean, I really should find it. It's really quite a lovely thing, and it made me cry. And I posted it on the YouTube group, and I said it was like it's kind of verbally complex, but it's one that I think explains or at least gives words to why we make the spiritual path so hard when it's something that's just going to happen anyway. It is inevitable. And that all we really have to do is align with the love that has manifested all of this, which is essentially us, blah, blah, blah. I know it gets very verbal and verbose very, very quickly. So just give me a minute. Let's see if I can find this thing, because it was really good. And I like Matt Kahn. And it's so funny. His posts just show up exactly when they're supposed to, but it's true. They actually, yeah, I'd call this an intricate, verbally complex post that as I read it slowly brought me to tears as my heart opened in relief. You ready? Take a nice deep breath. This is from Matt Kahn, and he posted this on Facebook. If you're not following him, you do you, but he's very incredibly, what the Course in Miracles is truly helpful, right? You are never out of alignment with your journey. You can only be out of alignment with ideas. Now, stick a pin in that. He comes back to that. If you have ideas about your journey, they are the very ideas you are working so hard to stay in alignment with. Like, for example, I have to be perfect. I have to do it right. And if I don't get it right, I'm not going to get what's on my vision board, and I just don't think I could go on, right? Like, we've all been there. That's just part of what we were sold. If you have ideas about your journey, they are the very ideas you are working so hard to stay in alignment with. If you could satisfy the insistence of ideas, there would be no longer a need for such ideas to occur. And so ideas try to keep themselves intact by using the consciousness of its true nature to find ways to show you how out of alignment you are. It does this because you innocently believe you can be out of alignment in some way. In other words, we have these ideas about what it means to be spiritual and what it means to be divine, and you can only eat this and you have to do this, and don't you ever judge, because if you do, endless, like tribbles, just keep going. We're probably, this is the part where I was like, because all this, I'm like, oh my God, get ready. There were probably instances from your past where you were treated a certain way for being out of alignment with a parent's desire, expectation, or the rules of the family. Oh, no, c'est impossible. No. And while such experiences were attempting to help you cultivate an inner moral compass, often in a rather disheartening way, perhaps it also left you feeling as if every step of your journey is entirely up to you. Yeah. Pleasure as the perception of rewards for doing things right, and punishment as the presence of pain or absence of pleasure. It's like he knows me. I feel so naked. Helping you build a case of wrongdoing that only ideas may suggest. The shit we believe. The shit we believe, right? Just ideas. As time ticks by, you will remain subservient to these ideas. Now remember the 4 stages, right? As time ticks by, you will remain subservient to these ideas, like vengeful inner gods, to keep happy until you allow each bubble to dissolve, simply by seeing each closely guarded belief as an idea, most likely a reflection of someone else's idea, and nothing more. In the end, the process will have served you well. You will have become immune to using the power of ideas against yourself, having spent so much of your energy to maintaining an alignment that is not your natural state, not an effortful creation of any kind. You may not always feel the way you wish, and it may not seem like you are, and it may seem like you are light years away from where you hope to be. But all the while, you have never been less than fully aligned with a journey that has so much to teach and share, regardless of the ideas arising. Last paragraph, he drives it home. If there is something to be in alignment with, it is the love, trust, faith, and guidance of heart-centered consciousness, always showing you how each moment is enacted by the perfection of wisdom, always in support of your evolutionary benefit, and not as the result of the circumstances in view. Once you no longer use the power of ideas against yourself, you are ready to expand your inner healer into an inner artist who was born into a body to use its infinite capacity of creative energy for the greater good of all. This is the transformative power of consciousness in action. And that's what being a god is. I'll just let that seep in. Breathe. Touch a chakra. Have some blue ho'oponopono water. Oh my God. Mom. She's running for president again. Oh, so hi. Oh, hey, Michael. Hi. You came in at an interesting point in the conversation. So look, before we do the practice, can you imagine there's actually a practice connected to this this train that we're taking tonight, this human hero immortal god conversation. But I want to give you a moment. He was out shopping while you came in, an interesting part of the conversation at the end. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, do you understand this is something that has been revealed to me bit by bit by bit? Right, like breadcrumbs through the enchanted forest of the divine, right? Putting it together, pieces as I go. So if anybody, oh wait, hold on. I do wax on about those the 7 deadly. So do I. I do. I mean, I can name them. Been through them. Sloth is a personal favorite. I mean, don't take much. It's one of the lazy man's deadly sin. It's completely lethal, though. They all are. You know, they're not the 7 mildly inconvenient boo-boos. But only in this world. Yeah. Have you taught this before? In bits and stages, yes. This was definitely more of the ministry chaining. When the Silver Broom Ministries was a thing and we had a clergy chaining program, I wrote the lessons, all of the lessons. Yes, there was some collaboration here and there, but the gods wrote it through me, and I have all of it. I could turn that into a book. Oh, I wouldn't be the first who'd done that, but I would rewrite it anyway. I would take the basic and I would make it more fun, but with exercises and all that stuff too. So yes, this is, I guess now, this is my world's ministry, what I teach. But remember, to me, spiritual teachers, number one, teach by example, right? Teach by example to the best of your ability in every aspect. And that means you are going to fall. You are going to stumble. You are going to make mistakes. And people are not going to like you as you go. The spiritual path, the hero's journey, the immortal path, and the divine path, not necessarily a popularity contest, just saying, right? You got to walk away from a lot of tribal dictates as you describe, as you discover and define them differently, right? It's like, oh my God, like racism, perfect example. It's like, oh, we're all one. That's stupid. And stupid, it comes from pain, right? It comes from past life pain. So as an immortal, you do what you, it's not that you do what you're told, but what's guiding you is you on a higher level. We're the hidden children of the gods. So hidden that we don't even see it until we're well into this game, right? Human, for how many thousands of years have we just been on that first human, not human, over and over and over? Hero, quest for love, quest for, you know, a lot of warriors, right? The quest for glory, like the hero's journey ain't just all about, it's the quest, right? But each lifetime, each experience evolves the soul, just like going to the gym. It's like one day is glutes, right? One day is legs, upper body, biceps. You get what I'm saying, right? You just don't do the same thing every day, otherwise you can fall over. I don't know how that works. So we've been living this all along, but now I think a lot of us are stepping from hero into immortal, and I think I've had a foot in immortal and a foot in God for a while, because that's the thing. It's not something that you can, it's not levels you achieve. I mean, does a caterpillar strive to become a butterfly, or does it just happen? It knows what to do, right? Is there larva school? Are you to go to larva school? And do they have to practice spinning cocoons, or does it just happen? Right? And it's like what Matt Kahn was saying, is how you think that you're totally responsible, like you're the one sort of in charge of your path. It's like, no. We are very loved. We are incredibly loved from outside the game and within the game. And that's what we're here to do this time, is to embody that love that we are. Sound familiar? I don't know, it's just in every freaking prophecy work reading the Great Awakening larva school. I'm in larva school. Please, can we not make a children's book? There are so many of them. There's so many kids' books. I used to work at Borders Books and Music. Thank God I was in the religion section. The poetry corner. That's what they called it at Borders Books and Music, Bohemia, with my long hair and my witchy jewelry on. Borders in the 90s. Borders in the 90s. That was a trip. We had some cute pre-hipsters. I don't know what they were called then. The pierced kids. They were fun. They were fun. And that's the thing. Like everything that you've been through in this life, necessary part of the journey, couldn't have happened any other way, and you've done nothing wrong from the soul's point of view. I know the ego will rail at that, and other people's egos will rail at that, but that's just something that is revealed along the way as you have a more immortal perspective, right? Did you so you saw me speak at Borders in the 90s, because at one point I spoke at all of the Borders on Long Island, and I think even a couple of times the one in New York City. And I believe, did I ever speak in World Trade? I did, but that was I think in the 90s anyway. Wow. Oh, so you're Autumn Phoenix. You're my Autumn Phoenix. You know, that's the thing. I suck at names to begin with. You know what my mom does too? We were talking about that the other day. She goes, I'm helpless with names too. I go, oh, well, thanks, Mom. Nice to know where you get it from. When you know 10,000 people, right? I would go there to watch you speak before I went to Caffeine. My good God Almighty. See, people, proof. Oh no, I'm paying her to say that in a YouTube chat. Oh my goodness gracious. I know who you are right now. Took me a minute. I won't say your name, but I know who you are. We've chatted even in the past year on Facebook. I know who you are. That's just so funny. That is just so funny. I've been doing this a long time, folks, and that's why, you know, I still look good. I would think that my contract must be extended or something. If I'm looking at like this at almost 52, I mean, immortal. Well, he doesn't age, right? And I'm not that. And by the way, I don't know if that's a perk or that's just me, but that's not why you do it. Just for good skincare, honey. I started with clay masks at age 12. Your child might be gay if he's stealing your beauty products, right? You know, because he wants clean, tight pores. Well, I will tell you, the advertising at the time was just brutal about not getting pimples. So, you know, I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But Aphrodite don't mind. Which, by the way, so something we can talk about practice here. Now, you see behind me, right? A lot of paraphernalia. Now, I know the gods don't live in the statues. They're just like symbolic archetypal pin codes for me. But you also know about the jewelry, right? that each of this is blessed as a totem, a link to a particular divine archetypal gestalt that I see as the Greek gods, and they told me to do it, so I'm going to take that as it's okay to do. So, like, who is the god or goddess that you most resonate with? Oh, if you feel like, put that in here. Well, I think mine's a little obvious. You know, I think we're PDS. We're pretty damn sure we know that I'm what you would call a Dionysus. And that's the thing. There's this stuff called aspecting, Bridget. Because, by the way, I just do it through the Greek. That's the point. It's like whatever. I mean, if they really end up being celestial, I really don't want to call my gods extraterrestrial, because to me, Dionysus is incredibly terrestrial. Earthy. That's why I like him. He likes me. But, you know, these are lenses, because if we saw them directly, we would go, you know, the Raiders of the Lost Ark terrain, let's just put it that way. Mercury and Aphrodite, okay. Rock and roll, right? So as you build, see this, and this is where witchcraft really came in for me, the path of the gods, right? That as you no longer need a high priest or a high priestess to access these beings, because they are within you, right? That comes from the hero's journey into the immortal. You realize, really, I'm one with all of this, and this is a never-ending journey, an immortal journey. You go directly, and you find that the gods do not ask sacrifice, and you find that they are saner than we are, and that they see more than we do, and that they are our elder selves in some ways, because we're all one, right? It's not like, oh, I am Zeus on planet Earth. So aspecting, right, is a thing in witchcraft that I kind of finally had a word for. It's sort of like channeling, but not. It's a long story. We're not going to talk about aspecting in depth tonight, but it's essentially allowing the aspect of a divine being to rise up within you and sort of take you for a walk, right? It's happened to me spontaneously a lot in this life. But that's on a certain level of consciousness where you still kind of believe there's a separation between you and said deity or angel, by the way. It's like research aspecting on your own. I'm not teaching that here and now on a YouTube live stream hard pass. No, swipe left, not doing that. No. Next thing you know, everybody gets up from their laptops and find themselves in the street reveling. Oopsie. No. But what that opens you to is avatarization. Avatarization. Now, I know you hear avatar, you think blue people are like water benders, right? Which I'm more the water benders than the blue people. Anyway, I would totally be a water bender. I would be Katara's best friend. I would want to know everything that she could teach me, but that's a story for another time, and I'm really bummed about the Netflix thing. You have no idea. For another time. Avatarization. What is an avatar in a game, right? You play a game. It's the character, right? It is the character that you play, right, in the game, but you know that it's a character. Well, the ancient meaning for the word avatar is the embodiment of a divine being. And the thing is we're already divine beings. It's just we forgot it, so we're all hidden avatars. But that doesn't mean you always get the parking spot. You know, that's where the ego then starts taking it seriously, and everything is gonna unfold eventually. This life, next life, 10 lives from now, you're not responsible for anybody else's everything in that sense, or anything in that sense, just your own. And therefore it is mostly a solitary path, because there are certain doors you can only go through alone, hence the pupa stage. The pupa stage comes through all levels in a way too, and you can certainly say that. But certainly what happens after God or during that, because I kind of feel like I've got, I wouldn't even say whole foot, but I would say 5 toes, right? Just sort of like a releve. I'm just like boop, touching into that feeling, the soft powdery sand and the blue, Aegean blue waters of that dimensional field of divinity. You'll find me there with a drink, and hopefully a hot guy on my arm, because that's the thing. I've been pretty much assured that we don't have to eschew that kind of stuff as we go, that it's more of an awakening of consciousness, right? It's more about an evolution. And it's not so much that we manifest everything that we've ever wanted as a God in physical form, but we just end up fulfilling the story in the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest way that's better than anything we could imagine. But we didn't write the script. We just came to the show and found out that we were in it. Yeah. Any questions? Take the god or goddess or angel or whoever, whatever, right? And get yourself comfortable for a few minutes in a position that you can stay in. This won't be terribly long, but we're going to be doing some breath work. Breathe. Moon is in Gemini. And get yourself comfortable in a position that you can stay in. I don't think you have to worry about falling asleep on this one, but just in case, make sure you are not just comfortable, but stable and secure where you are. Should you nod off, sometimes energies get high. My gods and goddesses, you've already taken the wheel, but now I'll drive us home. Because the one element of spirit that unites all four, the human, the hero, the immortal, and the god, is the breath. What do they have in common? They all breathe. Single is the line of gods and humans, separated only by power, but also separated by love and consciousness and wisdom through experience of walking that journey. The gods wanting to play a game, the humans wanting to be divine, all the pendulum swing, all from involution to evolution. The longer game, not just what can be accomplished in one life, but what can be accomplished in an entire cycle of embodiments on one interdimensional planet, moving it from third through fourth and anchoring it permanently into fifth dimensional and above consciousness. So an intricate personal soul journey and a planetary plan for the infinite expanse of this universe physically alone. One planet to shift a sector, to raise it in vibration. The badass part, where heaven and earth meet. With some of the greatest highs and some of the deepest lows, the brightest light and the deepest dark, all integrating as we grow, heal, learn, and become the best that we can be, fulfilling our roles in the divine plan. So wherever you are, imagine at the core of your heart a throne, like a holographic image within. Your heart chamber itself a throne room, but just one throne for now. And sitting on that throne is an outline, a being, representing the divine gestalt of archetypes, of soul powers, of patterns that you could associate as a particular god, goddess, angel, archangel, divine being, as you will. And though the face may be veiled, the shape is there. Now imagine your senses turning inward, my voice being a gentle guide as you follow the breath into the heart. Your awareness going there as you stand before this throne, not in supplication, not begging, but because you have been summoned here. A gentle calling inward that you might not even heard or known about until now. And as you draw closer to this enthroned being, your light, your awareness itself begins to illuminate the character in front of you, the divine being, the god or goddess. And as the light begins to dawn, you notice the eyes first. You notice they are the same color as yours, and that the shape seems interestingly familiar. And as your awareness expands, as does your light, these gods begin to glow and look back at you. A smile, always a smile, for the one who comes voluntarily, even when called, when they don't know they're being called. And third eye to third eye, just say thank you for the call. And you can bow, but you need not beg. Just as one would say namaste, the divinity in me salutes the divinity in you, because the divinity in you is the divinity in me. And a conversation starts and will spread, because there may be more than just one throne. In fact, talk about a Game of Thrones. My gods, my goddesses, my angels, my masters, and the higher selves of all involved, thank you. It is an honor to be in your presence and to be one with you. Please show us what you would have us do, where you would have us go, what you would have us say, and to whom, for our well-being and for the well-being of all. Wherever we are in these 4 stages, there is no backwards. There is only forwards. When we are ready, show us. We are willing to hear the song and follow it all the way, all the way, all the way home. And perhaps this being, this God, this goddess, this angel, this what have you, higher dimensional being of love, power, wisdom, truth, light, and all that jazz, offers a symbol, a sound, a color, a something, like a pin code. A word, a number, a whatever works. So that you'll know it's them. And so they'll know it's you when you call upon that number, that code, that symbol, that whatever, for the well-being of all, in fulfillment of the divine plan, from human to hero to immortal to God. In fulfillment of the divine plan, so mote it be, and so it is. Breathe. Just bask. Just breathe and bask. You don't even have to hold the image. You can just breathe. Because the call always has to come from us, right? And if you were in this room tonight or watching it later, You heard the call, and you came. And whatever happens next, you are not alone. You are on a journey to all one. So bow in thanks and gratitude. Thank you, my gods, my goddesses, my angels. Really, thank you, my guides, my masters, teachers, my gods, my goddesses, my saints, my angels, my totems, my healers, and my ancestors. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for manifesting the highest destiny through me that could be done in this. And may all who watch this live or later be given all that they need before they even know they need it, for the well-being of all so motivated. And so it is. And let the image fade as you literally bow your way out. That's what it means to bow out. You bow your way out. You're just going to bow your way. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And allow your eyelids to be the last things that move as you open them outwards. And let me know you're back in the room. And I want to, because we got 13 people in the room. Oh my God, we got 13 people. Oh, now we have 14 people. We had 13 people and 13 thumbs up. It's 1313 Mockingbird Lane. What if your pantheon is the monsters? I get to be Lily. Come on, Yvonne DiCarlo. How can you not? How can you not want to be Yvonne DiCarlo? Herman. Well, that was almost a little Grandpa Al Lewis, too. Well, I have his hair wings. Oh, meow, meow, hi. Yeah, just let me know you're back in. And if anybody has anything they would like to share, we've been doing this for 1 hour and 21 minutes. We might as well. If anybody has anything they would like to share before I call it a night. I think you might have had enough, children. You might have had just about enough of that. Now, off to bed with you, like you're going to sleep tonight. Yeah. You know, we kind of, I want to be Grandpa Monster. Grandpa Al Lewis was so, like, just him, just Grandpa Al Lewis alone was enough of a character, but just quite amazing. The Addams, you know, and that's why the Addams family. What if they're why not? Why not? I mean, I have to say, Christina Ricci's Wednesday is just. I mean, as much as I love the original, it's like Christina Ricci in anything. I love her. Well, Generation X. What do you want? What do you want? Lily Munster rules. Our community. You are my people. You really are. I swear I could cry, except I've got too much eye makeup on for that right now, really. It's just my liners. I mean, did I do it? Did I Robert Smith myself again? It's been a long day. So I'm going to go up and take a shower and talk to my gods. It was weird because during the meditation, I went into the heart of the goddess and she was looking at my human self, which is, it's like bilocation because we're all that. And a side of fries and a side of fries. And guess what? We get to have sex. And like, we don't have to do this in a monastery. We're getting to, like, because that's what I think a lot of those lives were. We're building. So that's why we already did the vows of poverty and the vows of chastity and the vows of silence. Pass, swipe left. No thanks. Been there, done that. Have the hair shirt somewhere. Have the ripped hair shirt. Been there, done that. Have the ripped hair shirt. Oh my God, that might be the funniest thing I've said all day long. But you know, it's still 11:18 p.m. I'm eating and taking a nap because I have a Spoke World event to attend. Well, you go to it, sweetheart. We love you, Michael. It's good to see you. Fuck. Oh, that'll get me demonetized. I don't care. Everybody chip in a couple of bucks. I might have just gotten us demonetized for just this video. They know I'm good. YouTube knows that it does slip out every now and again. It's just, I get it. They have advertisers. What are you going to do? So, hey, tip your witch people. Here, a little clavicle for you. If everybody does $2, watches the room, just pagans. Dinsdale. Dinsdale. Dionysadale. Good. Just a piece of information popped up. Mal and Meow Meow, if you're still up after this, message me on Facebook. I have a piece of news for you that just came through. I didn't think it would come through. We'll see. We'll see. There's information just in right now. We can talk about it tomorrow at the meeting, but whatever. It's late. Reminder when Al Lewis was at the FCC rally with Howard Stern and Sorn. Yes, I remember, and I can't say that on YouTube, but I remember it. Yeah. I was with Artemis. Artemis and Athena are always with me. See, so why are they always with you? No, I'm not saying why are they always with you. No, I mean like, so why? Like, no, my life in this lifetime has Dionysus written all over it in ways that I'm still seeing. I mean, to my birth, like it's just weird. It's just weird. It's holographic. It's Gainesdale. So specific. Thank you, Shelby. Thank you for the super chat, will you? Thank you. Oh, so by the way, here, if you want to see, this is the whole thing, like, right, this is the dawning of the age of aquariums. It just is. Look at that. I mean, come on. Somebody took a pair of jeans, cut off the legs, and made them into arms, right? It's very dun 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 dun. Don't expect me to lift my leg up. That's not happening. Plus, I'm in stretch denim. That's not going to happen. There, I dream of Mally. Oh my God, that was fun. Yeah, so tip there, your witch just danced for you. It's not that I don't have pride. I certainly do, although technically it is one of the 7 deadly sins. I have esteem. I know, I'm the fun one. God, Dionysus is one of the dancing gods, by the way. I think I'm allowed. But he's more funk, right? He's more like Prince dancing on the bar, right? It's a little Coyote ugly, but not that ugly. Yeah. Oh God, I am just tossing them out tonight. So what else can I do for you? Oh, okay. So just something to think about over this dark moon, right? We're going to be doing something for new moon. We are going to be doing something for new moon. I am most likely driving out to Southampton to be with Mal and Meow Meow. It'll be the Mal and Meow Meow show for a Tuesday night. Now, the thing is, it's later out at night. I'm trying to see if I'm staying there on the sleigh bed day bed, which is the coolest thing ever. I am partial to a sleigh bed. They just sleigh bed. So get through the dark moon, and I'll probably stream before then. Because think about it, new moon in Leo on a Tuesday night, that's a lot of fire. That's a lot of fire. Like and it's 5th house, pleasure and creativity and good fortune. So let's do something. Definitely have candles ready. Have a candle anointed with some kind of oil, even if it's just olive oil. And how about something to wax your relationship with the god or goddess that calls you? See, that's the kind of magic that I'm really into. Like, Papa needs a new pair of shoes casting is fine. I can do that. Like, I can freeze a yellow light. I'm so Piper. I really am Piper Halliwell behind the wheel. I'm going to blow stuff up, too. Where's my Leo in the passenger seat? He orbed away. But that is that mystical stuff that I really, really love more than anything else. Yeah. The fire dance through the night, yes, but it's a new moon on Tuesday. They would have to rewrite the song. And being that it was just Duran Duran Appreciation Day, which is sort of like every day. Every day is like Sunday, but that's a different band. Anyway. But I wish it was Monday. Wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day. All right, I'm going to go. Well, I'm just rambling now, and you're just enabling me in my rambling Gemini moon cacophonous vocabulary. Yeah. Words. Oh, now I've got the Tom Tom Club stuck in my head. Oh, dear. Wordy Rapping Hood. I'm going to go. I need a shower. I need to wash off this day. So I love you all so very, 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 very much. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. And thank you, anybody who tipped me, right? Anybody who super chatted me tonight. Just Great, big, huge appreciated. If you want to do it later or at any point, all of my videos have in the description box my Venmo and my PayPal, and it's PayPal Me. And I believe PayPal Me takes every pretty much credit card, debit card, whatever you got. Always appreciated to tip your witch. Because, you know, then I get to go do other cool stuff and not just pay my bills. Yeah. So thank you all so very, very much, humans, heroes, immortals, gods. It was my pleasure as ever serving you. Markangelo Lyons, Mal for short, the Archangel of Lyons. But your heart just calls me Mal. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of the rest of your evening. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be. Bye now.